Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Cup Council. How are we all? Hopefully, all of you are having a good Saturday. It's not Saturday. It's Tuesday. No, it's not even Tuesday. It's Monday. There we go. Apologies, chat. My head's all over the place, but good evening. Hopefully, everyone is doing well. And welcome back to another Liverpool news episode for you guys this evening. It's probably a stacked Liverpool news episode tonight. Again, we've got a fair bit of stories to bring you guys as well. No, that does not include Kylian Mbappe going to Real Madrid, which again, that would have been funny if we did do that anyway. But we're going to discuss a few players tonight. Of course, we're going to speak about the Schalke's youngster, Ozan Ouedraogo. Again, apologies if I do butcher anyone's names. We're going to mention as well Porto. Yeah, it is Porto. Midfielder Varela. We're going to discuss Joe Gomez as well tonight. Potential Saudi bid there as well. Seb van der Berg. Obviously, looks like he's going to be leaving Liverpool this summer. Gonzalo Inacio, we're also going to discuss being linked with the Reds again. And, of course, we're going to talk about Leeds' Summerville as well and get your guys' thoughts on him of course, your guys' thoughts and opinions on all of them as well. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts on everything that we do mention in tonight's episode as well. Big up Dave as well, saying hi from sunny Lanzarote. Is it Lanzarote? Again, my reading skills are terrible. You guys should know that by now. But big up Dave as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. And yeah, if you are watching on the repeat or if you're watching live as well, then do let me know how all of you are in the comments as well. But we will just dive straight into tonight's show, of course, and discuss this fella. Of course, I should have done that first, but we're going to discuss this fella. Of course, obviously for Schalke, he is a wonder kid. Again, if you play FM, or if of course you've been around, of course, Ozan Ouedraogo. Again, apologies if I do butcher anyone's name in today's episode, but it says that Liverpool could sign the next Xabi Alonso for 12 million within the next fortnight. It does go on to say that Liverpool are among the English clubs reported to be interested in Schalke midfielder Ozan Ouedraogo, who is available for just £12 million. Ouedraogo was first linked to move to Anfield in October when Liverpool were named alongside Bayern Munich, AC Milan, Brighton and Everton as suitors. It does go on to say soon after talks with the 18-year-old's camp were reported in Germany, the Reds are one of several clubs making contact with his representatives. 8 months later, and Sky Germany's Florentino Plettenberg claims that Liverpool, Manchester United, Aston Villa and Newcastle have all made contact to gesture their interest in a move to the Premier League. Plettenberg claims on Saturday that he was waiting for calls from Bayern to determine whether he would land his preferred move to Munich. And of course, the tweet does go on to say, as you guys can see, but there, of course, that Ouedraogo would not be joining Bayern Munich this summer. Of course, the players' camp was officially informed by Bayern in the last few months. Of course, obviously, we know Bayern Munich have gone on to sign Vincent Kompany as their manager, and they deem that he's not worthy of going forward this summer as well. I'm not going to lie, I don't know much about him. Again, I think he's around, is he 18? We'll quickly get up the notes that I did have for him right by here anyway. But yeah, he plays for Schalke. Of course, Schalke have been in the Bundesliga 2 this season. 18 years of age. He turned 18 in May. So, of course, this season he's been 17-year-old. Again, estimated market value 6.8 million. Played 17 games, 3 goals, 1 assist in the Bundesliga 2, I should say. Not in the official Bundesliga, of course, in the Bundesliga 2. Again, he can play as an attacking midfielder or play as a central midfielder. Again, last summer, I think, was the whole midfield arc in terms of, again, the 8s and the 10s and so on as well. Of course, again, a player that has been linked with Liverpool and under Michael Edwards and Richard Hughes. Then again, look, it is very much a sense that Liverpool could potentially go and make a move for him because, again, it's data-driven wise, it probably makes a lot of sense. Again, 18-year-old kid with Liverpool, if Liverpool had the new model already there in terms of the second club, would Liverpool then buy him? I'm not so sure. Again, it would depend on Schalke's price. Would it be more because there's an English club in there instead of, again, the normal Bundesliga club? Again, I'm not so sure. But I do think I don't think he'll be joining Liverpool. Do I think he'll come to the Premier League? I do think he will, because there has been a lot that, as that article said. But again, the likes of Aston Villa are interested in him, Newcastle as well. I think if somebody takes a jump on him, and again, if he develops then into that world-class midfielder that people in Germany seem to think he will definitely become, then it does then open the door then for, a team like a Newcastle or a Villa to then have that talent there. But also, if they want to then sell in the near future, they then got a player that's around 60, 70, 80 million pounds. So it's quite easily an easy turnaround in that sense, as well. For me, I haven't seen much of him. I'm not going to lie to you guys and say again, I'm watch his games week in, week out. I've seen bits and pieces, and again, it's very hard to judge a 18-year-old kid in the Bundesliga too. But again, if all the German reporters and journals seem to think that he is going to be the next guy to take the next step up, then again, fair play, because look, it's not easy to be the next up and coming thing, and look, obviously Germany have had world-class midfielders in the past as well, so look, I think very much it will be an interesting topic, to say the least, anyway. But Johnson as well saying, hi, thoughts on keeper backup. Do you think Alex McCarthy would be a good option for third choice keeper? Sure. Excuse me. If he's on, if it's a free transfer, then sure. If Liverpool have got to pay anything towards him, then no. Again, I'd much rather than just keep youth in that sense. But I do think Liverpool will sign a good backup goalkeeper in the summer. They realistically have to, because again, with Keller looking like he's going to go, again, speaking, I think in the Irish camp, I think yesterday was it or the day before, saying again he wants to move, he wants to make that jump, he wants to be the number one goalkeeper somewhere. Doesn't especially specify Liverpool in that sense. Again, he very much was, I want to be the number one goalkeeper, which did inkling, elsewhere. But again, you can't grudge Keller out of a move if that's what he wants, really, anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts on the German kid anyway, as well. We're going to speak another midfielder, of course, that Liverpool have been linked with the last couple of days, from Porto. Again, now there were sources claiming that Varela, again, you guys can see him there, but again, Varela was being linked to Liverpool, and supposedly Liverpool, again, apologies for the adverts, because again, don't really want to advertise that, but you can see there, so senior Liverpool sources have responded to a £60 million transfer claim. It says, following claims that Liverpool could intensify a pursuit of Porto's defensive midfielder Alan Varela, senior sources within the club have now responded. After speculation a year ago while Varela was still at Boca Juniors, it was claimed in April that formal talks had taken place over a transfer. Those reports come from midfielder now to Argentina. That this week saw further claim in Spain via the South American journalist. Again, I'm not going to butcher anyone's name, but again, we know Eduardo. Again, that tweet claiming Liverpool were going to bid 70 million euros for him as well. And this is there. Boris wrote on Twitter that Liverpool was set to intensify contact for Varela, adding that it is expected that they will soon open negotiations with Porto for his transfer. Obviously, Natural Six is reported to be being watched by the club scouts on a number of occasions. Is available for around £60 million with a release clause in his contract. But again, Paul Ghost, those within Anfield hierarchy are baffled by the ongoing claims of the interest in Varela. Again, is he a midfielder that Liverpool need? Again, a defensive number 6, I do think Liverpool need. But is he the answer for the sixth position. I don't think he is. Again, I know a couple of people on social media straight away was like, "Yep, Liverpool should sign him for the 50 million." Considering again Liverpool could have signed him for I think it was like 10 million euros last summer, which again is the most Liverpool thing going. That we could literally have signed a player for 5-6 times the cheaper than the valuation now. And that's just us on a plate really over the last couple of years, where again we've been linked with certain players that they've gone on to be world-class players that Liverpool could have gone for like 5-6 million euros or even less than that. But again, with this one, I don't really think he improves Liverpool in that sense. Liverpool need a world-class number 6. Is he that guy? He could be. Again, 22 years of age, Argentinian international, would be sound alongside Maka in a double pivot potentially under Arne Slot. But again, I just think that there is better options out there for that estimation as well. I do think that Liverpool could definitely go, somebody in for like Yagate. For me, still, I think is a very good prospect to go after. Again, considering he's only 23 years old. But again, there's probably somebody else that the data team are probably looking at and going, yeah, they may be the guy as well. Because I think with the sixth market, it's very much an open sense of things as well, considering, again, you had David Lynch do that article piece, didn't he, chat, speaking about how Liverpool are definitely looking in the market for a number 6, and you can't really rule that out. And I think that was an interesting piece that he did put out. Again, and the more inkling of it was, again, Liverpool can't rule themselves out the sixth market if something become available. If there was somehow a Tchouaméni arrived on the market, Liverpool should be all over it. And I think they should. Again, even though Wataru Endo and Alexis McAllister did really, really good for Liverpool, again, having that world-class number 6 again, the base of it, would be tremendous. And similar to like how we had Fabinho was probably the best in class that we signed at that time as well. Because I think Fabinho at his peak was probably one of the top 2 in terms of DMs. I think him, probably to be fair, probably top 3. Him, Casemiro at the time, Rodri as well. Again, Fabinho was in that category. And I think as well, Liverpool need to look at that and go, yeah, that's the benchmark really of where we should be aiming. And probably, if it is someone to go on and try and get maybe Liverpool and Michael Edwards go and do that as well anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts anyway on Varela. For me, it would be a no, just based on the price. I wouldn't pay 60 million euros for him, or 60 million pounds, I should say. I think there are better options out for that type of money, I would say anyway. But of course, speaking of money, Joe Gomez, of course, playing right now for England. I think he's about to come on for England, of course. But according to Simon Jones of the Mail, saying that Liverpool expect offers from Saudi Arabia for Joe Gomez this summer. Again, been at the football club now for, 9 years? I think it is 9 years. But again, I can't see a world where Joe Gomez leaves this summer. Out of all the players, like we did the other day, for me, I think Joe Gomez stays. I can't see a world where he does go for the right price. Sure, of course, everyone's got their own price tag in that sense, of course, and again, Liverpool could take that money and reinvest it into not maybe the next Joe Gomez, but again, somebody who can be that squad player in that sense. But I think he stays. I can't see a world where he does leave. Again, it doesn't say who it could be, a potential Saudi club. But again, obviously the first ones that come to mind again is obviously Stevie out with Al Ettifaq. Again, you would think that maybe they might put in a bid in. But chat, let me know your guys' thoughts as well. Joe Gomez, how much would Liverpool demand for him? Again, in today's market, 30 mil probably. Like, again, it's a bit hard because I personally would have gone. I personally would say 20 mil for Joe Gomez. If you could get that, then I think that would be a really, really good deal. But I feel like in today's market, it should be should be a lot more, considering. But again, that's just me. Like again, people would say again 40, 50 million for Joe Gomez. That could be their own opinion. But I think 25, 30 million should be a good price for Joe Gomez. But I wouldn't get rid of him because 12 months ago I would have done. And I'm not going to lie about that. I think you guys would have agreed with that. But for me, Joe Gomez 12 months ago was awful. And then this season he's been brilliant. But again, it would depend on whether or not, again, Arne Slot has him in his thoughts, which I think he would do, because again, he can play all over the defense. He can play centre back, can play right back, can play left back, could even play DM as he showed twice this season. And yeah, that for me would be a stupid thing if Liverpool cheaply got rid of Joe Gomez as well, unless of course he asked to leave, but I don't think he will ask to leave Liverpool either. But I'm hopeful Edwards and the rest of the recruitment have a couple of gems for us that we don't know about. I'm hoping that's the hopeful dream, John, as well. Again, obviously that report come out, didn't it, about Richard Hughes looking at the moment in terms of improving Liverpool's team. Again, that should be the aim. Again, even though I think the majority of Liverpool's squad, it's a good squad, but again, it can be massively improved. Again, another centre back, a DM in as well, and a forward. Bringing in not a Mo Salah replacement as such, but we all think Mo Salah's going to stay now this summer or next season. Again, you should be bringing in someone who will have 12 months under Mo and under the new system, and then obviously next year take that leap in being that replacement for Mo. But again, who is out there for the current market? There are players out there that could do it, but again, will Liverpool act upon that? Who knows? Remington St. John are hopefully South Americans. Fingers crossed. Again, with them in charge now, there might be a possibility that might actually happen this time as well. But big up to Cal as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. But yeah, for me, I think I'd be shocked if he did go in the summer, Joe Gomez. Anyway, but we're going to move on. Anyway, chat as well. I don't know what happened in the England game, but we're going to move on and we're going to talk about Seb van der Berg. Of course, bit of old news, but of course we haven't been live in a couple of days. But it is said that Seb van der Berg wants to leave Liverpool and isn't happy that their 20 million asking, obviously the 20 million asking price that was put on his head a couple of days ago, saying you haven't retained confidence in me all this time, but you do want to hinder my future. That's where, of course, he told Dutch TV as well. Of course, he did also go on to say in the Mail that, again, Wolfsburg are emerging as the front runners to sign 20 million rated Seb van der Berg after 3 loan spells away from Anfield. So let me know your guys' thoughts on this, because for me, it's a bit of a bitter situation. Again, this quote by you saying again that you haven't retained confidence in me all this time, but you do want to hinder my future. Again, we don't really deal with those type of players at the football club. Obviously, he wants to be the starter at Liverpool. Again, he's spoken throughout the summer already, speaking about, like, again, he's ready for that next step. Obviously, had a good season for Preston a couple of years back. Had a good season again last year for Mainz in the Bundesliga. Is he ready for that next step up? Again, under a new manager, potentially he might be an option for Liverpool. But does he get in over an Ibu Konate or Virgil van Dijk? No, he doesn't. And for him to complain about, again, Liverpool being outpricing him, again, we've seen that, with centre backs particularly. Look at Nat Phillips, look at other players, through the last couple of years that, again, Liverpool should have sold at the time, and then again, because us outpricing them, we didn't end up doing that. And it does feel like this is similar in that aspect. Again, will Liverpool get 20 million for Seb van der Berg? I don't think they would. I think 15 to maybe 18, I think is a maximum price for him. I'd be really surprised if Liverpool did go on to do something like that. But I just think as well, like you do look at his age again. I think he's around 20, 21. Again, he's got plenty of experience now in the Championship and the Bundesliga. People are craving out for centre halves, and especially Premier League clubs as well. Look, I do think that there would be one or two Premier League clubs that would be interested in him. Again, counts as homegrown as well, I think, somehow. But again, like for me, I think Liverpool have got the right price tag there in some sense. But again, I wouldn't be too begrudged if, like, I wanted to keep Seb van der Berg, but if he's trying to again push the move out and so on, like, again, I think Brentford and Southampton have been linked with him as well. So I'm double checking, but Brentford and Southampton have been linked with him before. So again, I wouldn't be surprised if Liverpool did take not obviously a cheap option, because again 15-18 million isn't cheap, but again, if there was that, grudging over 2 million, I don't think Liverpool would do it. I think Liverpool would just go, okay, we're going to sell him. And I think that's the right thing to do. If he wanted to go, then let him go. But again, Liverpool, obviously, the big thing was, again, re-signing him after the Champions League final. But again, he's kind of been a forgotten man, I think, for Liverpool supporters, especially as well, anyway. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well about Seb van der Berg. For me, I would sell him now after that. I know I said in the video that we did, keep him, and I would have kept him for a fourth choice option. But again, like, you have to cut your losses. If he wants to go, then let him go. But 5 years of Seb and no Liverpool Premier League starts. Yeah, I think he's played, I want to say, a few League Cup games, and that's about it. I want to also say FA Cup as well. I think he's also played. But again, no Premier League, which again is really, really surprising, to be fair anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts on Seb van der Berg and that situation as well. And obviously, speaking about centre-backs as well, Gonzalo Inacio been linked with Liverpool a few times. Getting back up on screen. Of course, he's been linked with Liverpool a few times over the last 12 months, probably even 2 years now. But according to Fabrizio Romano, suggesting that Liverpool are showing interest in Gonzalo Inacio. Of course, obviously he said that on his YouTube channel. Again, I think it's taken a bit out of context. Again, I think a lot of Liverpool supporters got a bit of, a bit of excitement when his name got mentioned by Fabrizio. Again, I do think if you go and watch the whole video, he does speak about Inacio in depth concerning Manchester United. I do not think Liverpool are going to go for him. I'd be surprised if Liverpool went for him. Of course, he fits the bill in terms of, again, age, left-footed, everything that Liverpool are looking for this summer. But again, watching him a few times this season, he's been very error prone, if that makes sense. He's made a lot of mistakes for Sporting's defence. Again, normally plays in the back three. Obviously, when you transition into a three, again, could be really, really good in that sense. But I don't know. For me, obviously, the rumour release clause is 60 million euros for him. Would that be an option that Liverpool would look at? Sure. Again, obviously, we've been linked with him for a few years, but when Fabrizio was speaking about him, he was speaking more about him with Manchester United. And I think if Ten Hag is to stay at United, I think Inacio will go to United. I just don't think he goes to Liverpool. I think, look, for me, if Liverpool are looking for a left-footed centre-half, go to Borussia Dortmund and go and bid for Schlotterbeck. I know Schlotterbeck has said he wants to stay at Dortmund, but for me, keep him, go for Schlotterbeck. Put all your chips in the Schlotterbeck bracket. If you're looking for that type of player, then Gonzalo Inacio. I do like Inacio, but it's just, I think if Amram had come into the football club, again, it would have been perfect in that sense, because again, same system, used to the manager in that sense. But I think I just think that Liverpool, for the price as well, you could probably get better. But that's just me. But again, if Liverpool were to get him, I wouldn't be begrudged against it in that sense. But I think you could go out and get another better midfielder. Again, right next to him, Diamonde. I think Diamonde for Sporting, Liverpool could definitely go out and get him. But again, if Liverpool are determined to get this left-footed centre half, again, you're putting yourself in a small bracket there, because again, there isn't many top class left-footed centre halves out there. Again, us being linked with Colwell is a prime example of that as well. But look, at the end of the day, I'm not begrudged against any of it as well. To be fair, Room Machine's just said Trent scored. I'm a bit behind because I'm watching it. Well, I got it on the back on Channel 4 on the PlayStation. But, good goal. Fair play, Trent. But pretty decent, that, to be fair. Not bad for a midfielder, right? That's going to annoy a couple of people anyway. But let me know anyway your guys' thoughts on Gonzalo Inacio. Would you have him at Liverpool? For me, I would, if the price was right. If it's going to be the release clause, no. I think Liverpool could go out and get Slaughterback or somebody like that anyway for the price. But again, let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. But we'll get on to the last story then before we do shoot off for tonight anyway, and talk about, of course, Summerville from Leeds. Again, Fabrizio Romano coming out yesterday and saying that Chelsea and Liverpool are still keeping a close eye on Summerville's situation at Leeds United. Both clubs have been monitoring him this season and showing interest in recent weeks. Nothing advanced yet, but talks for Dutch winger are expected to begin soon as well. And one thing as well, not from Fabrizio, but another thing that's also interesting as well is Crystal Palace. Crystal Palace as well have also been linked with Summerville. Along, again, if they were to lose Eze, which looks likely, considering, again, he's been really good for England tonight, and it does look like more clubs are interested in him for the summer. Again, £30 million for Summerville. Is there an ideal fit for Palace? Sure. For Liverpool, he's going to be used more as probably as a squad player for now. I don't think he walks into Liverpool's team in that sense personally. But again, he could be an impactful player. Again, can play on the left, can play on the right. Again, I just don't think, for me, would I go after Summerville for less than 30 million? Sure, but again, there's better out there. And I think as well for the whole, Liverpool looking to better the squad, does Summerville improve the left-hand side? No, I don't think he does. I don't think he's better than Gakpo. I don't think he's better than Luis Diaz. And that's something for me Liverpool need to do, and they need to look at, did these players improve Liverpool's team? No. And I don't think Summerville does. Again, he would be a good signing for the right price. Again, with Leeds not coming up, again, a cap price is going to be there for Summerville. But I think out of everyone, out of the three teams, out of Liverpool, Chelsea, and Palace that have been linked with him, I'd probably go Palace top at the moment, because again, if they were to lose Eze, again, Summerville can come in and be that like-for-like replacement. Chelsea's also been linked. Again, there's rumours that they're going to be selling a few players this summer. Again, is he something that Chelsea fans would want? Maybe under the new management there. And for us, again, does he improve the squads? Sure, but does he improve, or is it better than both Gakpo and Lucho? For me, no. I don't think Summerville is better than Gakpo or Lucho in that sense anyway. But let me know your guys' thoughts as well in the comments, because it'll be interesting to know your guys' thoughts as well. I think England have just scored as well, Harry Kane. But again, Liverpool, I think, can get better for the winger type. Again, if you want to go out and get the best in quality, go and get Elise from Palace. That's for me, that he is the number one guy to go and get this summer if you want a Premier League proven player in that position, you go and get Elise. And I think many people would also agree with that. That Elise would be the number one guy for a lot of people. But for me, 100%, I think he does 100% go to a big club this summer. I do think Elise will do that. I also think Summerville will join a Premier League team, but I would say he would join Palace for me. But again, we would have to wait and see. But out of the two, I think Liverpool are less likely to get him than Chelsea and Palace, in my opinion, anyway. But again, what the hell do I know? If the data team thinks he's the right guy for the team and the squad, then again, more than happy. Because again, have faith in the people upstairs now. Again, if this was the time last year when again you've got Jurgen and Jörg Schmachter in charge, again you would be a bit concerned with it, but again, if Liverpool think he's the guy for Arne Slot, then again, I'm more than happy with that. But don't forget about Ben Doak. He has a massive potential for us, 100%. Yeah, of course he does. But again, I'm also thinking that Mo Salah might go in 12 months on a free transfer. And again, if you have Elise in your team, again, I think that you're better for it in that sense. Anyway, but big up Ozan as well. Hope you're doing well, mate. Same big up Connor. Hope you're doing well. I'm doing good, thank you, mate. Hopefully you're doing well. Let me know. But we need to tie Trent down because Real Madrid are lurking. Yes, they are. Again, announcing Mbappe today. They broke the internet with it. I think Real Madrid's site was down for 2 hours because they posted that link, didn't they, of like a few words from Kylian, and they were. I think the website for Real Madrid was down for 2 hours, which again is funny, but again. We might talk about it more tomorrow because tomorrow's show we're going to be talking just more generally about football. Tomorrow's show, again, we've not really got anything to talk about unless it's anything Liverpool around as well, but we're probably going to speak about Madrid's Champions League win. Might speak about Madrid as well, and obviously I'm going to get, obviously we've got Ant coming on as well from obviously Ant, the Leicester fan. We've got him on speaking about obviously the Leicester manager going to Maresca going to Chelsea. Speaking obviously about him with Leicester as well coming in as well. Get your guys' thoughts on that. Hopefully get a couple of people in as well on that show as well. Looking forward to that tomorrow as well. I'm going to do the thumbnail for it now before I go to bed later on. And yeah, that'll be tomorrow's show at 9. No, it's not. It's going to be at 8 tomorrow. Tomorrow's show is at 8 anyway. But we need to tie down Trent, yeah, 100%. John saying the Chiesa from Juve, they desperately need the transfer fee. I wouldn't have him now. That knee injury messed him up. Chiesa at the Euros back, what was it, 3-4 years ago, was unbelievable. Unbelievable player. But the 2 knee injuries he's had since then has completely ruined him. And Juve have massively, relied on Chiesa the last couple of seasons. And, he's by miles the best player, don't get me wrong. But again, do I think that Liverpool should be interested in him? No, not for the stupid price tag that's getting spoken about with him. Again, but that's the thing. See, football is such a mad thing where you look 12 months ago, myself and a lot of creators as well, and just Liverpool fans in general and supporters were crying out for Liverpool to see if we could go after Kvaratskhelia from Napoli. A lot of people wanted him last summer. You look at him this summer, he looks, the fraction of the player that was there 12 months ago. I've not seen anyone being linked, obviously no English club getting linked to him. I know PSG have been linked with £120 million, but again, like 12 months ago, Liverpool probably would have been interested in him because, again, we played against them in the Champions League and you were like, wow, what, like, who on earth is this player? But again, he's been brilliant for Napoli last season. This season, of course, obviously he's been a shambles at Napoli. But again, you're not going to get Kvaratskhelia out to Napoli for less than 100 million. And again, is he worth that? No. Chiesa, likewise. Is he Is he worth over the 60, 70 million that's been speaking about? No. And for me, that's just it now. Real Madrid are already the best team in Europe, and they're only getting stronger. Yeah, 100%. It's unbelievable, isn't it? As well, we'll probably talk about that tomorrow, in tomorrow's show anyway. But I'm going to leave it there for tonight, guys. Anyway, big thank you to everyone for tuning in as always. Yeah, we've been away for a couple of days. Obviously, we was live for the Champions League final, but again, I want to know your guys' thoughts in the comments as well on everything that we did mention tonight. A few stories out there. Again, I want to know your guys' thoughts because, again, not real transfer news is coming up as yet. With the days, slowly going down with the Euros about to start. Again, the less likely transfers are going to happen, unless, of course, obviously they're not playing in the Euros or the Copa America. But still, again, any bits of news, of course, we'll bring out to you guys anyway. But tomorrow's show will be a football show. It won't be a Liverpool show unless there is anything that does break. But again, we might be live twice tomorrow, if that is the case anyway. But until next time, guys, that's going to be it from me. Hopefully, you have a fantastic rest of your Monday as well. If you're new, hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and all that good stuff anyway. But I've been Connor from the Cup Council. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Ta-ra.